Hello, you are listening fourth episode of SME Banking Club podcast series. We speak about SME banking. My name is Olena Grinyuk, and today I'm delighted to be joined by somebody that I personally admire and that I have had a fortune of meeting at our conferences. Boris Dyakonov, CEO at Tochka Bank. Tochka.com is a digitally only bank for entrepreneurs in Russia, has around 40,000 business accounts and over 80,000 personal accounts, meaning accounts of employees and directors. Launched in February 2015 as the first online bank for entrepreneurs in Russia, headquartered in Yekaterinburg. Hello, Boris, and welcome to our podcast.
Great to be with you.
Boris, in all your interviews that I've read and heard, you say that you are not a banker. So if to say to our listeners, in short, your biography, so you studied at philosophy faculty in Yekaterinburg, then you worked as a pastor, right? Then you studied in the US, and then after that you came back and got a job in Bank 24 as an IT specialist. Yes, and stayed
No, before that...
Okay.
Before that, I worked in Severnaya Kazna Bank, where we actually created one of the first internet banking solutions in Russia. And in a couple of years after that, actually in 4 years, that's when Bank 24.io started.
Yes, okay. So, and you were working there till getting the executive position in it. So, and after the closing of that project, you created Tochka. And you're staying in the banking system till now, but you do not consider yourself as a banker. So tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm just a human being. I know of people who dreamt to be bankers. I never did so. Long time ago, I just wanted to get an IT job somewhere near websites or systems administration. But I was always fascinated by technology, and I was always fascinated by the way it can change people's lives and experiences. And just starting to work in a bank, I've seen how outdated a lot of stuff is, how painful it is, and since then, I've been trying to play inside the bank, but on the client side of things.
We know that your motto, which you always say and evangelize, I would say, is that your mission as a Tochka and task is to make the world convenient to entrepreneurs. So how exactly are you doing it in Tochka?
I think it's all about the team. I think it's all about the way we work together as a team, and we just think about our clients, and we try to come up with solutions that they would love. That's pretty much how it works.
So you are digital only bank in Russia, so without branches at all. How this concept generally is perceived in Russia, as we see that digital services are the expectations of millennials rather than older age entrepreneurs. So is it difficult to persuade customers to open an account with you?
Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that was something we might not have dreamed of. But now we see that, people use taxi from a company that doesn't own any taxi. They talk about Uber or Yandex Taxi for that matter. I think market expectations have shifted, and people are more often to consuming digital products and digital stuff. It is not an issue anymore, since Tochka works inside an Открытие group, which is the largest financial privately owned banking group in Russia. So in that sense, we don't have the issue of saying, well, we're big, we're reliable, blah, blah, blah. We just move on with the understanding that, hey, it's inside a large financial corporation. but it's just a digital service, a digital bank that does a very nice layer of banking experience to a client. So we're in a very beneficial position in that.
What is the average profile of your entrepreneur, your customer? How does he look like? How old is he? Working in which segments, industries?
Well, it's not only he; it can be she also.
Of course.
So, our core customers are digitally minded entrepreneurs, mid-age, both men and women, who just want to do their stuff, who want to do their business, and don't want to mess around with papers or banking stuff or ugly service. But that's the core. That's what we have in the heart of the client proposition. But then we have students, we have older folks, we even have large corporations who bank with us, and that's okay.
Is an entrepreneurship a skill that you are born with, or it can be taught?
I think even if somebody was born as an entrepreneur, they have to learn their lessons. And I think everybody can create stuff, but it does take some, I don't know, childhood upbringing, some learning, and some luck in the end of the day. So I don't know, it's a mystery. If it's like, if somebody is born to be a surgeon, well, probably it wasn't like when somebody small coming out of their mother, they probably didn't like have all the necessary skills to do surgery. They came in progress, but of course some people are more inclined than the others.
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how much coffee I had in the morning.
Okay. And in general, how do you think, in your opinion, how entrepreneurial do you think Russia is as a country?
Well, Russia and the whole post-Soviet area, they were very entrepreneurial. And the proof I have for that, even in the times when entrepreneurship was illegal and it was outside of the boundaries of the law, people were still doing small stuff. They were still looking for ways to earn money, to create stuff, even if it was making vodka at home. So I think all the nations, and Russians included, they were covered under the Soviet regime, were very entrepreneurial at their core.
Do you know for which part of your customer base you are the only bank? I mean that they don't have any banking products with another bank.
From our latest search, around 70% of our customers bank only with us, which is a higher percentage than the average on the market.
Whom do you consider as your main competitor in the Russian market?
Well, on one hand, we've educated a bunch of competitors in the market that come from all over the place. But the way I like to think about it is that for all Russian banks, Sberbank is the major competitor. And then there is another way to think about it is that our true competitor is inside our head. And it's about our limitations and our beliefs and our capacity just to imagine and do stuff.
Okay.
That's at least that's what I'm competing with.
You are
that makes sense.
Okay. You're constantly on top of different ratings in Russia, and not only. As the most convenient bank, as the best online bank and mobile application, the best salary project, etc. So this March also you have launched P2P payments for entrepreneurs. Which service do you consider as the best one in Tochka?
Um, well, I don't think there is one single bit of a service that we can say, hey, it is the best. It's the combination of them. It's like asking what is the best icon on your Android or iPhone, or what's the best button in your phone. Well, there is none. It's the way the whole thing works together, and in the end of the day, it's all about the experience that we can share with our customers. It's all what you named and beyond. And I don't think it's about this functionality or that functionality. It's like asking, well, what's the best function in Excel, for example, or in Word application?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the way the whole thing is put together. So I think it's pretty much the same, and then our value is in taking old stuff out and rethinking some stuff, in binding all of the functions closer together. And I think the way to look at that as the list of the functions is not entirely helpful.
I just have to ask you about a holacracy system that you have adopted in your office. So, in general, holacracy means a structure of self-organized teams rather than being vested in a management hierarchy. Tell us what it is all about in Tochka exactly.
Well, it's if it is playing by the book, if it is holacracy, it's about giving power to the circles. That's what exactly it means. Crassy power, hola circles. So it's giving power to the circles. But for us, it's a way to continue to be agile, continuing to be flexible, and continuing to innovate. Without a dictatorship. So that's pretty much, and to scale while staying human and being very transparent to the people we work together with.
What do you understand by being transparent to your employees? What do you do?
Well, one of the parts and one of the ways holacracy plays is that all decision making is very transparent. So there are certain. It's just very clear rules of game.
How many people now counts your team? And where is it located?
Our head office is in Ekaterinburg, but we're located all over Russia. More than 800 now and counting because of explosive growth we're experiencing. So we have offices and people that work on behalf of Tochka all over the place.
What are your plans for this year? What are your targets?
We have hundreds of them. And then there are product related targets. We think about several innovative products on the market, and we plan to grow twofold during the year 2017, having more than 70,000 working clients. So that's almost tripling our sales by the end of the year. But we also have targets that are very hard to measure, but we are still after creating the best experience possible for those who change the world better for us.
And what is your role and your job as the CEO to do these targets, to implement them?
Well, currently I try to delegate as much as possible, and the way I look at it is, if there is a way that I can work not in Tochka but on Tochka, that would mean that how can I be useful to move a company forward? Because every company will stay where it is if just everybody keeps doing what they're doing. And the question that I have for me is what extra stuff that can change the future I can be helpful with. So it's mainly about talking to key people and writing several emails, that type of stuff.
Do you find Tochka a successful project, and what is a success for you?
Well, I don't know what is a success for me, but because there are lots of criteria for that. But I'm very keen that customers would be happy with that, and our NPS of 72.5%, I think, is highly indicative of that. And we're also onto our shareholders' satisfaction, and they seem to be satisfied since Tochka is a profitable project is of the middle of that past year. So that's pretty much where we are.
So Tochka is a profitable project.
Well, it is. It's been profitable for more than 9 months now.
Okay.
And we have enough profits to provide for our growth.
Boris, where do you personally see an inspirations and ideas how to do a better job? Maybe some country you see as an example, or maybe some particular banks and their models are inspiring you?
Oh well. Sometimes a cup of coffee or tea can inspire. Sometimes sitting looking at the way Istanbul is full of entrepreneurial energy. So I think inspiration can come from everywhere. Or I get a lot of inspiration from talking with the partner with whom we birthed Knopka and with whom we transformed Bank24 and restarted Tochka. Edward Panteleev, he was at one of your conferences.
Yes.
So I find that highly inspiring, and we do some things together.
Boris, thank you very much for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Same with you.